Welcome to another Brand Decoded show. Tonight, I'm inspired to talk about marketing. And I will give you a backstory of me being 15 years in the game and how there's different types of marketing, there's different types of concepts and mental models. And to put it all together, I felt like a real expert somewhere around 10-year mark. I think I felt always overly confident about my SEO skills in particular when I started out, because I was able to rank articles on the first page of Google, so that gave me a lot of satisfaction. But the mechanics of the delivery, aka physical distribution, is just like a pipeline. It's a it's a plumber's job. Like delivering the content physically to the eyeball is a job of a plumber. And I would say for the first, I don't know, God knows how long, I've been very, very keen on delivering physically content to the eyeballs. And it has not dawned on me until I got into my own business that the ideas are much, much more valuable than the delivery of those ideas. And structuring those ideas is not an easy accomplishment. So the people that are in marketing, those that are not in marketing, they can label them as lazy. And if you have a marketer working for you, you might want to think of him that way, because the lazy marketer wants to achieve as much as he can doing as little as possible. That is a fact. That is something that you want to have in your marketer, the laziness component. And you want them to think in terms of the problem solution. Why? Because the problem is something that human mind is wired for to seek. Whether you're discovering a new problem to a person and then promising him a solution at the other side of the paywall, or you have an existing problem aware audience member and you're just shifting his attention to the solution. That is what the good marketing does. And I think that there were a few biases that were created during my tenure as primarily a search engine optimization specialist, because I was conditioned by Google to decode the search intent. And what is the search intent? Deliver the person what they're looking for. Well, if you do that, you're not making any money. So the hypothesis of the blogger and traffic and getting people to buy from you out of gratitude, that does work when you have massive traffic. But most people don't. So instead of running a charity, maybe you should reposition yourself to start a business, because blogging is not a strategy. Blogging is a mechanism. Blogging is something that you do to attract the visitors. But if you give them everything for free, then you're running a charity. So I don't think that any one of you wants to run a charity, especially if you're not well off. Charities are for tax deductions, not for making money. So I think that a lot of people that get into the business, they get fed this bullshit advice: follow your passion. I wish I had $1 every time I heard follow your passion. That's one of the worst financial advices that someone can adhere to. Follow your passion. And I think that there's a reason why people follow their passion, because it allows them an excuse to procrastinate on selling. Because if they start selling, their feelings will get hurt. And then their ego wants to protect them from actively trying to sell. And in doing so, you're participating in the extent you're participating in the self-sabotage to the extent where you can't stay in business. And what happens when you can't stay in business? You go back to work in another person's business. You go back to a job. So this procrastination from selling and following your passion until you figure it out, you need to figure it out right now. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in the same spot and not making a better life for yourself. So I'm selling ideas right now. I'm selling you right now. That is an idea that you need to start to sell. That is what I'm selling. It's a meta sales level. And I think content creators, they have to start off as sellers of the ideas and then have a product that they can plug. Oh, speaking of which, Profitable Websites from Scratch, I'll leave the link below. If you want to learn how to build profitable websites, I poured my life and soul into that work, probably 50 hours worth of writing. I wrote out my soul what I know about website creation. End of plug. Thanks for listening. But I am trying to paint a point here. Sell. I just sold you on my course. That's without shame because I put the good work in it and I'm proud of it. Right? So you need to create good work so you can stand behind your work and not feel like an imposter. Because I think that there's a reason why there's an imposter syndrome on the market. It's a big reason. Because 99% of the people are imposters. And like everyone's like, fake it till you make it. Well, make it until you make it. How about that? Like, do the job. Do the job. Build yourself as a person. Like, learn your value by observation. Comparing your own output versus the output of your peers. And see what works and what doesn't and what market is willing to bear. Build an offer that you would be proud selling. Like that you quantifiably know. So for example, if I build a course about web design, you better know that I spent $3,000 on buying every competitor's course possible after I finished mine to make sure that mine is better. Because there's a sense of pride. Like this is the same way we're building websites like that. Like we have a benchmark tool called PageSpeed Insights, and it contains two scores. Like one is the PageSpeed Insights score and the other one's Core Web Vitals. If a website doesn't pass either of these, it's not alpha efficiency quality standard, right? So there's a third-party benchmarking tool that lets us know you are killing it. So find out what is that benchmark. And oftentimes the benchmark is you going to your customer base, to your audience, giving them a free product, asking them, hey, would this be interesting to you? Would you pay money for this? And when they pay it, you ask them to get their feedback. And then with their feedback, you improve your product. Rinse and repeat until you have a really good product that you can keep selling without triple changing it every single time. So that is how you improve. That is how you're not scamming people. That is how you're building value for the others. And always be selling. That is what you have to do to stay in the game. Because being in the game is one thing. Staying in the game is a completely different thing. There's a lot of people that just come in and out. And they change lanes way too frequently and go from one lane to another without having any staying power in any of the games that they play. And that's sad. Like if you pick and choose some lanes, you might as well stay inside of them until you get good enough. That's how you grow, by sticking to the one game. And at one point, your skill set will be so strong that it will work out. Like you will not need to sell so hard because your past work will speak for itself. But your past work, if not communicated, won't get you far. So the job of promoting yourself is never ending. You always have to buy more eyeballs or produce enough content to generate enough eyeballs. So that is the game of marketing. It's not a one-time thing. It's a full-time job. Marketing is a full-time job. And I hope you stay in the game, that you see it beyond just the plumbing mechanics, that you see the impact of the content in the mind of your consumer or your audience member or the user, whatever you want to call it. But that moment where a software application that you built, that the content piece that you wrote, the video that you created, once it hits in the mind of another person, that is the surface area of your business. That is the surface area. Like it's a neurochemical reaction in another person's brain. That is a surface area. And your function of your business is to extend the time under attention and create neural pathways in your audience member's mind to a point where it creates buyers. That is how you build a business. It's very ground level, it's grassroots, not ground level. Grassroots is the word that I wanted to say. It's very grassroots. Even if you're buying the advertising, you have to feel this metaphysical connection of the ad creators, ad copies, in the mind of the audience you're trying to court. Because you're building up like a story, whether it's a company, whether it's a creator-based business, whether it's a media business, you are the one who is shaping the destiny of your brand. Whether it's a personal brand or a business brand, doesn't matter. There is a stronger metaphysical connection and the symbolism attached to your company. Like alpha efficiency is a triangle with the alpha inside of it. There's so much power in that logo itself, right? So you integrate the symbolism in your memetics of your own brand or your own business into entirety of your communication. I hope I demystified marketing a little bit, decoded it just slightly a little bit. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, like and subscribe, leave a comment, say thank you. Whatever you want to do, appreciate you with no expectations. Have a good night.